Hello, this is Ian's POV. I've done the true cost of EVs in my last video. This one, we're going to do Mad and Miliband's new Save the Planet idea. Now, the first thing is, climate change is a scam. There is no climate change. The climate changes from day to day, from season to season. There is no proof that it is changing. The University of East Anglia had their emails either leaked or hacked, but we got them. And they explained how they fixed the figures. They dropped the medieval warm period and then oinked it up in the last couple of years, which gave us what was called the hockey stick graph. So it bounced along and then went zoink. Carbon caused by carbon. So they carbon tax everything. The government makes money on that. They want you to reduce your carbon outtake. So they want to stop you using petrol vehicles, which they see as a fossil fuel. But oil is not a fossil fuel. Let's get this straight. I've seen the scientific paper. When I was in the civil service, I had the science magazine come over my desk. And during a coffee break, I read it. And in there, the oil wells in Texas, somebody had bought defunct oil wells cheap. They wanted to see how much oil was in there and was it worth extracting. And that was when the price went up in the 70s, when we had the oil crisis then. They found that the oil had come back. They were saying, well, if it's a fossil fuel and we depleted it, how's it come back? They'd stopped using them after the Second World War. So it'd been 70 years, or 60 or 70 years. And they filled back up again. Well, where's the oil coming from? And they figured out that in the rocks are bacteria, and the bacteria multiply and die. And when they die, what's left is the oil and the gas. So it comes from decaying bacteria. So it's a naturally growing substance. It is not a fossil fuel. Coal is a fossil fuel because the wood collapsed, built up, and then the stone on top forced it down and it became a fossil. So coal is a fossil fuel. But oil and the derivatives of oil are not a fossil fuel. Let's get that straight. I've seen the science on it. Okay? And they're still peddling it as a fossil fuel. Every time on the telly, they keep out, well, we got to reduce fossil fuel, our use of fossil fuels. Got to reduce our diesel, got to reduce our petrol. But it's not a fossil fuel. Okay? Get it? But could we be using too much of it? I need to cut back to reserve what's growing so we keep it going for more years. Now that's another question, and I'm sympathetic with that. We've got more efficient engines now, so we're using less. Got no problems with that at all. But I will not adhere to the idea that oil is a fossil fuel when it's not. Okay, that's that out of the way. Now then. Mad Ed Miliband. He's a piece of work, isn't he? Oh, he thinks he can be the Prime Minister, you know. Anyway, a press release has come out yesterday that Mad Ed Miliband wants to ban dryers. So if you've got to do the washing in the winter and we've had rainy days, you put it in the washing machine. Some people have got a washer dryer. We got a washing machine and a dryer. And then we hang it up when it's not raining. And it doesn't always dry in the cold weather. So when it comes in, it goes into the dryer for a little bit. And then it's hung up to air. In the summer, we don't need to. The air is warm, wind is blowing. That's green, you know. Hanging your washing on the line, that's going green. Because that's being controlled by wind and solar, isn't it? You think about it. Hanging your washing on the line is green. You're using green power, green energy. You're using the solar and the wind. But in the winter, it doesn't dry as well. My wife puts it on the line, and if it's not dry when she goes to pick it up before it gets dark, she'll dump it in the dryer. Well, what happens if you ban dryers? How do we dry our clothes? This is craziness. And if you've got a washer dryer, are you going to have to replace it for just a washer? How do you ban the dryer? Oh, they're going to tell you you're not going to use it. Well, how many people are going to listen to that? How do you police it? This is absolute madness. That's why they call him Mad Miliband. He wants to cover the green English countryside with solar panels. Has he got some sort of deal with the Chinese companies? Because it all comes from China, doesn't it? You know, absolute craziness. Oh, add to my EV thing before, government, there's a statutory instrument that was put in by the Conservatives that any new installation of a smart charger for your car, right, that you put on the wall outside and charge your car, because you're not supposed to charge your car in your garage, you're not allowed to use it from 8 and 10 in the morning, and you're not allowed to use it from 4 to 7 in the evening. And that's by government order. So new smart meters don't work in those times. Well, my argument is, what happens if you're a shift worker and you have to charge your car early morning and late early evening? You know, these things haven't been thought through. They're just blinker. Gotta save energy, gotta save energy. They're now telling you, government advice, this isn't the law, it's government advice, that you can only charge your car for 6 hours a day. Because if everybody put their cars on charge at night, there wouldn't be enough electricity and there'd be power cuts. That's their thinking. So why are we all getting electric cars if they haven't got the electric to do it? It's madness. Yeah, mad in Miliband again. I'll tell you what, the Conservatives are just as mad, man. That guy Gove, he was in on this as well. It's madness. That's why he's Mad Miliband. Oh, and trying to keep up with it all. Oh, you also, the advice from the manufacturers and the government is you should, to keep the battery in good condition, you should only charge your battery to 80%. And you shouldn't let it drop below 20%. So in effect, you're only using 60% of your battery. And that keeps your battery life. So the battery don't wear out. So you don't have to pay £40,000 for a new battery for your car. My mate, he got an EV thing. And he charges it at night. But if it's flat, if he's been on a long journey and come back, and he might have to stop and top up, but he only tops up a little bit at the station in the garage. What he does is he tops it up enough to get home. Then he recharges it. He said it can take up to 12 hours to recharge his car. If it's going to take 12 hours and you're going to do 6, that's 2 days to recharge his car. Not overnight. This is craziness. There's no logic in this whatsoever. The government have got blinkers on. We've got to be green. We've got to be seen to be green. We've got to save the planet. You know, how much does it cost in carbon to produce the panels, the solar panels, to boat them all the way over here using diesel, to then install them with all the diesel cars and everything that everybody's using, all the workmen and that, to make green energy? How much carbon has been used? The windmills. How much carbon does it take to make the windmills, the wind turbines? This is something that they don't talk about. I don't know the answer. I haven't been able to find it. It's got to be somewhere. Someone have got to have written it down. Another thing to research. But it's just absolute madness. They're putting everything on us. We've got to save energy. We've got to go green. And it's absolute total bullshit. Carbon is not a greenhouse gas. Carbon in the atmosphere has been dropping for 40 million years. 40 million years ago, when the dinosaurs were around, CO2 was at 2,500 parts per million. It's around about 300 parts per million now. Some people argue that it's 300, 350 or whatever, but it's dropping. So I would argue, if we want to grow plants and we want bigger vegetables, we need more CO2. So we should be pumping CO2 in the atmosphere to help the planet, not getting rid of it. Okay? That's logic. That's common sense. Anyway, Ian, my point of view, I've had my say. I'm going to go and have my lunch now. Bye-bye.